Are we comfortable moving forward tonight, or do we want it to go back to P&Z? Because if any one of us doesn't vote yea, then it's not going to pass. And then we need to go do that. So that's the simple question for us, that we want it to go back to P&Z.
I still think procedures to go back to P&Z.
But
Right.
you're not one of us.
For clarification,
And I do, thank you, Robert, because I do want to go ahead from what Betsy said. We have some room, so I don't want, we have a lot of people here, so we can't make it unlimited comments, but I want to let people, if you'd like to come up, I want to give a
Well,
couple
I just
minutes.
want for clarification for the audience, will you explain, I know what it means, but what P&Z, y'all keep using the term P&Z, explain to the audience that maybe don't know what P&Z
Absolutely.
is.
The planning is, thank you, Robert. The Planning and Zoning Commission is a recommending body, made up of residents of River Oaks who, specifically are there so that if something that is zoning related, comes before the city, before it can come before the council, it has to go before the Planning and Zoning Commission. And if the Planning and Zoning Commission votes, in favor or in opposition of a plan, or of an applicant, it is then, it takes a supermajority of the council to overturn that. So in this case, the Planning and Zoning Commission voted 5-0 to reject the plan. The plan was changed before it came to us, but still it was the same application that Planning and Zoning rejected, which meant that last week when the council voted 3-2 to approve the matter, it did not vote with 4 votes to approve it, which meant that the Planning and Zoning Commission was not overturned, essentially. So I'm sure I did a terrible job of explaining that. But ultimately, the P&Z is there to recommend to the council, and then the council has the final say. But again, to overrule what P&Z does, it takes an extra vote compared to most things that we do that are a 3-2 vote. Yes, sir.
The overrule is denial.
Yes, thank you. Yes, sir.
No, you did great, but what was the consensus on the denial? Infrastructure, traffic?
Parking lot, all of the above.
The citizens had a lot of different comments. They didn't necessarily agree.
Neighborhood objections. Or,
And can you say your name again for the record so that...
Oh, I'm sorry, Larry Brodigan. I apologize.
That's okay, thank you.
So, yeah, a market basket of objections. It's okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Ernst?
I'm gonna make this decision.
Let's check.
First of all,
You're under a time limit
what
tonight.
we're voting on or looking at or what council's done is strictly zoning, has nothing to do with construction, building, or anything. It's to change the zoning of an area to single family. After that, then it has to come back with a plan, then they'll vote on that plan. I'm here tonight to say I sat up here almost 24 years. He's been here 27 years. I don't ever recall the council voting on something, come back the next week and want to change it.
I agree.
The citizens, this came in mail today to one of the people who live with 200 feet. The citizens need to have the input in this public hearing. They need to go back, present a plan, take it to P&Z, P&Z make a recommendation, and come back to this body. That time is not going to hurt anything. But the way it is, I've never seen it done before. Steve, I don't believe you have. Where you vote on something, go back next week, vote on change it, because they want to change their mind. That's not right.
I don't know, but I am aware of that can be done.
Well, absolutely, a lot of things can be done, but that don't mean we need to do them and run over the citizens that live there.
My name is Robert Brown, I live at 1025 Leidig Lane. The mayor served many years more than I did, but I served 6 years here. And I don't ever recall a vote being taken and then come back the following week and change the vote. I know every vote that I took, I stood behind it regardless. So that being said, for other clarification, I wasn't here at the last week's meeting, but I was at the Planning and Zoning meeting, and a lot of people spoke, and the Planning and Zoning board denied the request. And then it's my understanding that the group that's wanting to build the houses came before you last week with a different proposal. So I would think common sense would say that you would send it back to planning and zoning with the new proposal and let them vote on that and then see where it goes. But the other side of that is, if you as council people take a vote, you need to stand behind that vote. You know, you don't change your mind. Just like Herman said, you make your decision final. You hear the comments and then you make your decision final. That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Well, everybody else got their piece, you know.
Yes, sir.
Christopher Spielden, I live on Red Oak Lane. I'm not here as a police chief, I'm here as a citizen of the city. I have a lot of respect for all the people sitting in this room. I know a lot of them personally. I have a different spin on it in that at some juncture, we as a city need to look at what we're doing to the developers that are coming in here. We are having a tough time as city employees making ends meet. You know, I can't get people to work. I think that someone that comes in and looks at what they've done and says, you know what, maybe this wasn't the way I should have voted, or I don't condemn that. If you look at something and you say, maybe I need to redo this, I keep hearing the will of the citizens. This meeting was put out. Is this the will? Is this the citizens of this community? There are 7,500 people that aren't here that want this council to do what's best for them. Not, if we look at everybody that lives around here, I certainly don't want an apartment complex in my neighborhood, but if we don't want apartments, we don't want buildings or businesses on the bottom, and we don't want multi-residences on the top, when are we going to decide, we as citizens, we as a city, want development to come in here? They're building $300,000 houses. They're not putting the right lots. They're not facing the right direction. I feel like sometimes we run developers off. And I wish that I had been able to take this off and just come in blue jeans and a t-shirt, because I'm here as a citizen, not as an employee. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name's Roy Shields. I wanted to let you know that I don't think anyone here is against developing that. It's the way it's been presented, what they're wanting to put there. All we're asking is that they put something there that's going to be more valuable and take up less space. Well said.
Thank you.
Okay, so,
I have the opportunity to correct everybody.
well, this was a little unorthodox, but I wanted to get the input in, so now it's up to council to deliberate, and if somebody wants to make a motion on either 9 or 10, then they are open, so we're good.
I make a motion that we reconsider the denial of ordinance 1321-2021. My reason for this is that everyone that spoke at the last meeting had bad information. I got bad information. It was incorrect. Almost everything about what everybody has told us about what this is going to be. Royce, your example just now, you want something better, that's what they're bringing to the table. Somebody else told me that it'll sell to somebody else. It won't. These people have bought it. They have brought planned development to our city. They've jumped through hoops already. We have a bad reputation here as not being for development. But we need to understand, they came with a proposal originally for 40-foot wide lots. They came, and everybody has been paraded down to Eastgate and tried to compare it to a neighborhood that is no comparison whatsoever. So first of all, those are 30-foot lots. They originally proposed 40-foot lots. They came back with 50-foot lots, which is pretty much average for our city. Second of all, these are $425,000 houses. I voted against this because I had a barrage of citizens call me and tell me that they didn't want it.
I voted because I wanted